I burned my whole life down just to be free. I sold my house to get rid of my stepchildren. My husband Ryan brought Nicole and Brandon into my life when we got together 3 years ago. Nicole was 11 then, Brandon was 8. Their mom had died in a car accident 2 years before that, and at first I genuinely felt bad for them. I thought I could be this comforting presence, maybe even someone they could rely on. But living with them, it became pure, suffocating hell faster than I ever imagined. Nicole was the ringleader of the chaos. She'd leave bloody tampons on my white bathroom counter, not accidentally, but strategically. I'd walk in, see that mess, and feel my stomach flip. When I confronted her, she'd burst into tears instantly and bolt to Ryan. "She's being mean to me," she'd sob, burying her face in his chest. And like clockwork, Ryan would glare at me as if I was the monster. Didn't matter what actually happened. His little princess never lied, apparently. Brandon wasn't as manipulative, but he was destructive in this absent-minded, sticky-fingered way that made me want to scream. He'd take my $300 face creams, stuff I saved up for, and mix them into homemade slime. Thick green ooze, glitter, food coloring, whatever he could find. I'd find the containers scooped out like someone dug into freshly churned ice cream, and the slime would be cemented to my kitchen table. Ryan would just ruffle his hair and say, "He's creative, let him explore." But the final straw was my car, my beautiful white Mercedes I'd worked 2 jobs to afford. One Saturday morning, I opened the door and froze. Every inch of it, hood, doors, windows, was covered in permanent marker doodles, flowers, hearts, weird stick figures, what looked like a unicorn riding a skateboard. It didn't even look malicious. It looked proud, like they thought they had created a masterpiece. I screamed so loudly the neighbors came out. I felt something inside me rupture. Ryan came running out in his boxers, yawned, stared at the car and said, "Kids will be kids. We can get it painted." He said it like it was no big deal, like they hadn't just vandalized the most expensive thing I owned. That was the moment I knew I had to get out. But not just out. I wanted them out of my life entirely. The problem was the house. Ryan loved it more than anything. We'd bought it together, our names both on the deed. It had the huge yard perfect for the kids, a playroom full of toys, and this big family room setup he always romanticized. If I left, he'd stay. And I knew he'd want visitation, reconciliation, strings attached. I didn't want strings. I wanted freedom. So I formed a plan. Slow, patient, calculated. I started leaving overdue bills on the counter. Red stamps, circled dates, fake notes scribbled in the margins like, "Call today." I sighed dramatically at the grocery store receipts. I'd mutter things like, "We can't keep living like this. Everything's getting more expensive," loud enough for him to hear. When the mortgage statement came each month, I made a show of rubbing my temples like I had a migraine. Then I introduced downsizing into conversations, casually at first. What if we sold the house? Just hypothetically. But I kept pushing. I showed him apartments online, calculated potential savings, created spreadsheets with debt-to-income ratios, even though we weren't in debt at all. I made it look bad. After 2 months, he finally caved. Maybe selling wouldn't be the worst idea. I nearly burst into song. We listed the house way below market value because I wanted it gone fast. I didn't care about profit, I cared about speed. And speed I got. It sold in 3 days. 3 days. Ryan kept saying it felt rushed, but I brushed him off. "The market moves fast. We're lucky," I said with the fakest smile ever. Then came my favorite part. I told him I'd found the perfect new place. I brought him to this stunning 1-bedroom downtown apartment in a modern building. Polished concrete floors, floor-to-ceiling windows, rooftop patio. He walked around impressed until the realization hit him. "1 bedroom?" he said. "Where will the kids sleep?" I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "That's not really my problem, is it? They're not my kids." The way his face fell, shock, betrayal, anger, fear, it was like watching a tower collapse in slow motion. He started yelling that I'd manipulated him, tricked him, lied to him. I let him rant. Then I just shrugged. "The house is sold, Ryan. You signed the papers. Deal with it." He scrambled, called his late wife's parents. They lived in Florida and didn't want to raise 2 more kids. His parents were gone. His sister's studio apartment couldn't fit a goldfish tank, let alone 2 kids. So he ended up renting a cramped 2-bedroom across town. And me? I moved into my beautiful downtown apartment, alone. No slime, no tampons, no screaming, no destroyed property. Just peace. Actual peace. I don't regret.